morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, well, we're continuing our look through all the cards from Remix Bout, because remember, ladies and gentlemen, I look at every single card from every single new set. It's kind of my thing. That we do lots of other videos as well. If card analysis isn't your thing, lots of deck profiles, lots of news, history videos. Basically anything that I find interesting, boom, we make a video. So, we're going to look at our first Pokemon today, though maybe not our last, depends on the schedule here, that kind of punishes you for retreating, or, as opposed to be more precise, punishes you for trying to retreat. We are, of course, having a little bit of a look at the new Tangrowth, although something that's weirding me out just a little bit. Who out there loves Tangrowth this much? Because we got one in Lost Thunder, and we got one in Unbroken Bonds, and now we've got another one in our November set. It's the one after Unified Mind. It is, as of yet, an unnamed set. So it's a little bit weird, but hey-ho, not much we can do about it. So, what does it do? Well, if we have a look at the basics here, what we see is 140 HP, which is gigantic for a stage 1. But it's got a retreat cost of 1, so there's no buff padding to do a bit of extra HP here, and there's no Pokemaniac to search it out, which makes me a little bit sad. Although, to be fair, all the Tangrowth tend to have a retreat cost of 3, so I suppose I can't be too angry about it. It's got a weakness to fire, which is obviously terrible at the moment, given how great fire decks are with stuff like Welder. I mean, you will survive a hit from Volcanion if they don't have 4 energy on the field, but if we're into that territory, that's not exactly a ringing endorsement here. And being a grass Pokemon, if you can survive with the huge HP, you've got stuff like Life Forest, Prism Star, and Shaman, which will be able to come along, do a little bit of healing, keep you on the field for just that little bit longer. So, yeah, I'm alright with this. Oh, plus weakness on stuff like Slowpoke and Psyduck, which seems like a joke deck, but it is seeing a bit of play and a bit of love in Japan, so you never know. But what does it actually do? Well, the first attack here is the one with which we are primarily concerned, and it's for a single grass energy. Now that I can get on board with. And what it does is 10 damage, not loving it, plus 30 more damage for each colourless energy in your opponent's retreat cost. I should mention my translation here was actually me over on Google Translate. Once you've looked at enough cards on Google Translate, it does start to actually make a bit of sense, though I did check with a lovely Joe from Cerebi.net to make sure I was correct. So already, we are marking this out as a Pokemon where this isn't going to just be some kind of it goes in every deck and it beats everything kind of Pokemon. We are in tech Pokemon range here. We are in tech Pokemon territory. So the question is, what's got a big retreat cost, and preferably, are we hitting it for weakness? So let's go back to Slowpoke and Psyduck. Slowpoke and Psyduck has a retreat cost of 2. Have a retreat cost of 2? It's 1 card, but they're 2 Pokemon, so yeah, not entirely which form to use there. Hey-ho. So you're doing 70 damage, doubled with weakness is 140. So you're miles away from a KO here, but we are looking at a really nice 2-hit KO, and they're going to have to discard 4 supporter cards from their hand in order to get a KO on you. Though to be fair, do remember that they have got Lapras coming, which is every turn they can search their discard pile for a Misty's Wish. So actually, if they've got 4 Lapras out and none of their Misty's Wish are prized, they will be able to get a fairly easy KO on you. You can't win them all, ladies and gentlemen. You can't win them all. So you should be 2-hit KOing them comfortably. And to be clear, even if they're 1-hit KOing you, in 2 turns you're taking 3 prizes, they're taking 2, there's no Ace Roller around to save them right now, and you're only putting 1 energy on each Tangrowth, so you're alright there. But how about Magikarp and Wailord? That's the biggest, baddest boy that's weak to grass at the moment. So they've got a retreat cost of 4. You're hitting 130. Double with weakness is 260. Yeah, were Slowpoke and Psyduck to have a retreat cost of 4, you'd be getting a really nice one-hit KO, but they don't. Magikarp and Wailord, you're still a little bit short. And the problem is that if we still had Choice Band, then you wouldn't be looking at 130, you'd be looking at 160, double to 320, boom, KO. If we still had Professor Kukui, you'd be looking something along the lines of 150, double with weakness 300, and you wouldn't have any wiggle room there, but you would still get a one-hit KO. That would be lovely, but you don't, because that's rotated out. And look, Magikarp and Wailord still sees a bit of play in Expanded as a bit of a blocking deck, so you do have a single energy Pokemon you can use to KO here. What also sees play in Expanded is Wailord. It still sees a bit of play, it still sees a bit of love. It's dropped off from its heyday, but it's there and around. And again, that's got a retreat cost of 4. So you're hitting 130, double with weakness 260, and you are getting a one-hit KO for a single energy with no extra damage modifiers needed. Okay, now we're good, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're kind of loving this. We're getting a KO on Wailord. Here's my apprehension about the card. We're playing a grass deck. And if you're playing a grass deck, you've got other grass Pokemon. And anyone's hitting these Pokemon for weakness. Will they be doing enough to KO a Wailord EX? Maybe not, I suppose. But any grass Pokemon that can do 130 can get a KO here. But maybe you're not. Maybe you're playing Rainbow Energy. And maybe then we could be on to something. Now, let's be clear. This is an extremely niche Pokemon. Because I looked at Rapidash recently, and if you put this up against Rapidash, Rapidash has a retreat cost of 0. And you're hitting 10 damage, double with weakness is 20. Yeah, it's pointless. Completely pointless. Well, I suppose they're still free hit KOing you, but even so, pointless. And there's all kinds of things around which are going to be reducing retreat costs. Chief among them, Beware. So if we have a look at Beware, it's a new one coming which reduces the retreat cost of your active Pokemon by 2, which takes 60 damage off the board from Tangrowth. And that's a bit of a problem. Because, well, it just means you do 60 less damage. That's really bad. And I can see Beware seeing a bunch of play, and that's a bit of a problem. And if we look at Pokemon that aren't weak, yeah. What we see here, something like Reshiram and Charizard, oh, you're doing 100 damage. Well, that's not enough. They've got 270 HP, you're free hit KOing. I don't like it. And I suppose free hit KOing with a single prize Pokemon does mean you're swapping free prizes in free turns between yourselves. But they can potentially heal, or retreat, or even just take advantage of the fact that you need 3 stage 1s and they're just sitting there attacking. Not to mention Outrage after the first attack will very easily KO you. And that's my problem with this attack. I think with some Pokemon, if you can tech it in with Rainbow Energy, it's good. But against non-weak Pokemon, I'm rarely loving it. And against anything playing Beware, we've got a big problem here. We've got a really big problem. If you can find an evolving Pokemon with a retreat cost of 2, you're hitting 70. So against something like a Grubbin, yay! But most of the ones out there like Poipole, Inkay, etc. have a retreat cost of 1, you're hitting 40, it's not good enough. Okay, you can get a Ditto Prism Star, but come on. Now, there is a second attack here, but we're not going to spend very long on it because I just don't like it. 1 grass, 2 colorless energy, flip 2 coins, 80 damage for each heads. Yes, you can use triple acceleration energy to essentially make it a 2 energy attack. Yes, if you flip double heads, you do 160, and that will KO a Dedenne. But even then, with stuff like Choice Band out the format, you're not really getting many GX KOs of this at all, by which I mean literally only Dedenne. And you've only got a 25% chance of doing that, and we've lost the Victini that lets us redo coin flips, so you're left with an expensive attack, which is flippy, and we've lost Choice Band and Victini, which are the 2 cards that could make this happen. If you give me, say, like a 50% chance of getting a one-hit KO on something like a Dedenne, or a Blacephalon, etc., yeah, that's cool, I'm in. But otherwise, no, I'm not in, ladies and gentlemen. What Tangrowth is a stage 1 that you can tech in with something like a Rainbow Energy if you're particularly worried about a certain grass weak card with a large retreat cost. Yeah, that's pretty gosh darn niche. It's a free Wassy card. You put it in your binder, you keep it in your binder, and at some point in the future, you may well bring it out and tech it into a deck, but it really is a card which exists purely as an, I'm really worried about this particular deck. Hang on a second. Grass weak, retreat cost of 3 or 4, in goes my single energy Tangrowth. That's what it does. But hey, maybe you've got a particular idea for when you would use this, or maybe you've got something else you want to say about the card. Either way, there's a comment section. Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Wassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, where we talk about games that don't even have Pokemon in. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.